This week on football, it's the podcast that pays you to listen. James with a clean catch. Laura Woods.
Hello and welcome along. This is the Wankdorf Stadium. Let's get out of the way. You two have a quick snigger and then we'll move on like the professionals that we are.
Miss of the century in the championship. Vibes in the away dressing room at Anfield.
Hey, leave me. Hey! Go get ya, go get it, go get ya.
More cards than Christmas in the Premier League. Captain Bowen helps Ings hammer home the equaliser. Merce gives his opinion on Spurs winning the Premier League.
I think Spurs have got a chance. He says he's going to win a trophy this year.
I like Ange, I like him, but I got more chance of winning Strictly.
And I wake up to millions of people laughing at me. Hello everyone, welcome to This Week on Football. It is me, Alex. Once again, if you are on YouTube, feel free to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you want to like it as well, I'm not going to stop you. We'd appreciate it. If you haven't already followed me on TikTok, I am on TikTok at Alex Goalpost. That's where you'll get all the best bits, all of the nonsense, most of the nonsense, half of the nonsense. Well, do you know what? I say half of the nonsense. It's pretty much all nonsense. If anyone's been following the page as of the last couple of days, you might have seen the chomp that Baker had to do. I thought it was going to go a little bit under the radar. I didn't think it would get so much traction, but now we're on like 200,000 people have seen it. And I mean, thousands of people are chomping away and calling Baker an idiot, amongst other things. So if you haven't seen that, go to Alex Goalpost. You'll be able to see it all and all of the drama over there. Right, we are going to do my team of the week this week. I've got my weekend treble, which I know, obviously, that's why you're here. I'll be looking at your teams on Day One Fantasy as well. It's been a while since we've done that, so I'm really looking forward to seeing a few of your teams, how they're doing. But first, this is a message to Sky Sports. We are not in the least bit asked about your slow motion cinematic replays. We have probably missed a million different things. I mean, the amount of things that we miss whilst the director cuts to a slow motion replay of another Brennan Johnson missed scuffed shot. The Premier League is far too fast paced for the director to slow everything down, cinematic replay on a Milos Kerkez slide tackle whilst we're just sat here and all you hear is the crowd around them getting up in unison, screaming as the other team's counter-attacking. We're missing so much. For the love of God, Sky Sports, your directors, just remember the football is for the fans. It is not for you to indulge in your cinematic Hollywood failed dreams. We want to watch the game. Show the game. I can't be the only one, surely. I cannot be the only one who feels like this. It's every weekend. I feel myself just constantly, about 5 times a game, just screaming, show the game. I mean, it's one thing in the Championship. I watched a League One game the other night, fairly fast paced, and it was a bit like, you know, you can take a little bit of time to show some replays. Even then, the ball gets turned over so quickly in top level football. We cannot afford to just sit there, watch it. I mean, we miss goals, genuinely. We've missed goals last season, and it's only a matter of time before it happens again this season. Show the game. It is not about you and your creative art. It is about football at the end of it. And yeah, I'm sick of it. I'm absolutely sick of it. Let me know in the comments, in the messages, if you actually agree, because I feel like sometimes I'm the only one who feels like this, and I am genuinely getting more and more every single week frustrated at the fact that we are missing so much of the game. Right, that is my rant over. Let's do team of the week. As you know, regular listeners, you know that I pick a team only based off players I've seen play the full 90 minutes or I've seen and gone to the game live. Starting off in goal, Robert Sanchez. Dodgy kicking, I will be honest, and he's asked to do a lot for this Chelsea team. But all in all, he is a solid goalkeeper. He makes really good saves. And for the majority of the game against Bournemouth, he actually kept Chelsea in the game. He made a really top save for the penalty, and overall, a fantastic performance for anyone who had him in their fantasy teams. 15 points, which is phenomenal. But no, a lot of pressure, a lot of goalkeepers at Chelsea, a lot of players in general at Chelsea. But Robert Sanchez, I think he's really staking a claim to be Chelsea's number one goalkeeper. So fair play to him. A lot of pressure, and he's coming through. At right back, I decided to go with someone who was on the losing end of that game. It was Adam Smith. Played against Neto for the first half. I thought he did really, really well. He is into his 12th season at Bournemouth. And you've got to give the guy some credit. He's been down in the lower leagues and come up with Bournemouth as they've risen up the divisions. He is a Premier League footballer. He's got that Premier League quality, but you wouldn't have known it, and you probably never would have gotten picked up if he'd have just stayed in the Championship. He kind of stepped up for this Bournemouth side, and 12th season. I think he's just signed a brand new contract as well. Well deserved. Well into his 30s now. I think he's 32, 33. Well deserved, Adam Smith, and I actually thought he had a really good game. He came off, and then the goal went in as well, so technically he had a clean sheet. Centre back, Matthijs de Ligt. What a signing for Manchester United. It's early days, but Matthijs de Ligt looks like the centre half that Manchester United have been crying out for years. And I mean years, literally years. We needed a centre half, a big Harry Maguire type who's actually decent on the ball. And do you know what? He's a threat from set pieces. The game, I don't know if anyone watched the Man United game on the weekend, but it felt like there was going to be a chance for De Ligt. I had this feeling before the game. I know he gets up well from corners. Obviously, Southampton, they are a little bit susceptible from set pieces, and Matthijs de Ligt just took full advantage of that. Got his goal, got a clean sheet for Manchester United. For me, as a United fan, I am hoping that gives us a bit of a kick. I'm just off the back of watching us win 7-0 against Barnsley. I know it's Barnsley, but a few positives going on, and Matthijs de Ligt is a big positive for Manchester United in a really dark time. So great signing for me, and I don't see that going wrong at all, giving it the kiss of death there. Centre half alongside him. Actually, this is a centre half who I've also put in the team of the week a couple of weeks ago at left back. It's Levi Colwill, Chelsea's best defender. They've spent 50 million there, 80 million there, 70 million there. Levi Colwill, someone who's come through the academy and is actually by quite a distance for me their best centre half. I love Wesley Fofana. I thought it was a good signing. Unfortunately, that injury, that serious injury, really disrupted his career, and I don't know if he'll get back to those heights that I felt like he could have achieved. Levi Colwill, on the other hand, I feel like he's there. I feel like he is a proper top six centre half. He's brilliant on the ball. He can play left back or centre half. He's very versatile. Thought he was really good against Bournemouth. Dominated in the air. Got back, made blocks. Brilliant performance. I love this guy, and you'll probably hear me talk about him a lot this season because I absolutely love Levi Colwill. Left back, I've gone with Samuel Lino. Really strong Athlete's side, who won very comfortably over the weekend. If you'd have been following the podcast earlier in the season, I've tipped them to go all the way and maybe even win La Liga ahead of Real Madrid and Barcelona this season. I think the system that Simeone's got is really interesting. Conor Gallagher's a perfect signing for them. But the way their fullbacks play, they're not deep line left backs and right backs. They are full on right wing and left wing backs. Lino gets forward. Marcos Llorente gets forward. And Lino, I thought, was really good. Got the assist for one of the goals as well at the weekend, so I thought he had to get in my team. Central midfield, Renato Vega. I was really surprised by this guy. I thought Chelsea, you've got all these centre midfielders who cost £500 million, and you're playing some random guy who I've never heard of. Granted, if I was a really... Do you know what? I was going to say if I was a really nerdy about football, I would know who he is. I am really nerdy about football, and I still didn't know who this guy was. Never knew he existed, but he's massive. First of all, I saw him on the team sheet, and before I'd seen him play, I thought, who's this guy? He's going to get dominated in midfield in the Premier League. It's fast paced. Is he going to be able to handle it? He definitely handled it. Really top performance from him. I thought he was one of the picks for that Chelsea side. Alongside him, Mario Lemina. Now, Wolves fans, this guy's been about. He's been knocking about, been in the Premier League before. I don't know where he went after. Did he go to Turkey? Did he go to Italy? Did he go to France? I don't know. But he was in the wilderness, and then he's come back into the Premier League. He's now Wolves captain, and got the goal at the weekend. But he always feels like he is a class above the rest of the Wolves players. And that's not me being discriminatory towards the Wolves players. I know they're good, and not just because they play for Wolves, they're not a good player. But Mario Lemina feels like a really classy footballer. Always feels like he's got time and space on the ball, gets forward really well. Loves a challenge. He's a hard-hitting midfielder, but he can do the dog work, but also the intricate stuff as well. So I'm a big fan of Mario Lemina. I don't know if anyone else is. Let me know in the comments. Finishing off that midfield, one of my favourite performances this week, and I actually love this guy. It's Conor Gallagher. Massive move for him to go all the way to Spain, to Atletico Madrid in a massive, massive pressure cauldron. But I feel, like I said, he is going to be a perfect Diego Simeone signing. He does about 2 times the running of a standard midfield player. He is all over the place. His engine's absolutely ridiculous. Chelsea were probably actually a little bit gutted to let him go. If they're honest with themselves, the way they dealt with that was not the prettiest, but it had to happen because of financial fair play. Understandable. But I think this is a massive move for Conor Gallagher in terms of his career, in terms of how he is looked at, particularly by English people and English football fans. We have this thing about English players that aren't the pretty side of football, where the Jordan Hendersons of the past, and Conor Gallagher fits into that archetype as well. It's always the ones who are quite defensive minded that we look at like they're shit footballers. It drives me nuts, this thing, because they don't do it in any other country. The problem we had with Jordan Henderson was he was a midfielder who didn't score many goals. In that case, all of a sudden, he's shit. This is not how it works. Not everyone is Frank Lampard. Not everyone is Steven Gerrard. Not everyone is a Kaka. You need these dogged midfielders who are in the right position at the right time, who can dictate play and can hold the ball. They are captains, they're leaders, and Conor Gallagher could be that for this Atletico Madrid side. I think it's a massive signing for them. I think it's a massive loss to the Premier League and Chelsea as well. So I think it's time we put a bit of respect on Conor Gallagher's name. And I actually think because he plays over there, it's a little bit exotic. I think a lot of the English football fans will start coming around when they see him inevitably get back into this England side and think, oh, do you know what? Conor Gallagher is good because he's got a bit of a ponytail. He plays abroad. Maybe that's a little bit swazzy and it's a little bit more fancy and a little bit more sexy than just a standard British footballer who likes to put a challenge in. So, yes, I'm actually really annoyed about that topic, and I could do a whole podcast on it. The whole Jordan Henderson thing for years and years and years, and Conor Gallagher is a victim of it as well. But I'm glad he moved abroad, and I think it's brilliant for him and his career. Stop waffling, Alex. Right wing, Tyler Dibling. The Southampton right winger, he's 18 years old and had Diogo Dalot, an established Manchester United fullback and international fullback. You know, he played for Portugal, a really strong international side. Tyler Dibling's, I think, played once in the Premier League before, and then that was his first start, and he looked like he'd been there for about 5 years. It was fantastic. He got taken off, which I was a bit disappointed by. I don't know if he's gone through with Southampton. The games have just finished or just about finishing now. But Tyler Dibling looked like he was on the bench, which makes me feel like Russell Martin does trust this kid and trust him to play in the Premier League, which I think is massive for him. Young lad, got the world at his feet, lovely with the ball, could take a ball past a defender, got the confidence to take a shot as well. I think there's a massive future for this guy. I think it's early days. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but Southampton fans, I would be buzzing about this kid. Although, as we know with Southampton, it's 1 or 2 years at a decent level, and then Liverpool go and buy him. Left wing, Karim Adeyemi. A really difficult season for Adeyemi last season. Found it tough to come into that Dortmund side and really kind of lay down a mark and be one of the focal points. He ripped it up previously. He looked like he was going to be the next big thing when he was coming through the under-21s in Germany. But now I think he's really coming to his own. He got 7 goals in the last 7 days. And this is the last 7 days since he last played. But 7 goals in 7 days, 2 goals and an assist at the weekend for Dortmund, and just a classy player, absolutely lightning fast. And I think this will be the proper breakthrough season for Karim Adeyemi, still so young. Plenty more to go for him. I think he'll improve as well. His pace, it's not going anywhere. He will cause defenders absolute nightmares, whether he plays on the shoulder, on the left wing, or the right wing. He can play all across the front three. So yeah, exciting season for him. Finishing off my team of the week is Ollie Watkins. He is my striker. 2 goals on the weekend, 2 really good goals, poaching goals, and just a classy performance, a classy interview after the game as well when he's talking about John Duran. I don't know if anyone saw John Duran talked about that position at Villa, that striking position, as something that should be his. He thinks he's better than Ollie Watkins. Granted, the goal that we saw at the weekend would give you some credence to believe that he is. For me, Ollie Watkins is one of the best, sharpest strikers in the Premier League. I said that he wasn't ready to make that international step up, and I was always going to go with Tony. He proved to be wrong in that European Championships. He got his moment against Netherlands in the semi-final, put that ball away, one of the greatest England goals we're ever going to see. But he had a slow start coming back into it. It's been a tough season last season, and it absolutely ripped it up last season, let's be honest. Then the summer, and it's been non-stop for these England players. So you can understand why he's had a slow start, but came back 2 goals to turn the game around. And yeah, in his interview after, talking about John Duran, who's after his position, he's talked about him in a really classy way. He said he's a great player. He's got the world at his feet. He's got potential, and, he deserves everything that he's getting, all the plaudits that he's getting. And rightly so. John Duran is a top player and he's going somewhere. But Ollie Watkins, he is your main striker. He's the one who's going to get you through those Champions League games. And, hopefully for Villa fans, get back into that top 4 or top 6 and hopefully play European football for another season after that. Right, that is my team of the week. We are going to move on to our day 1 fantasy teams.
One day or day 1.
Now, last week or the week before, because it's been an international break, I kicked a load of people. We've not really done much since that point. We've kind of, do you know what? I kind of just went, I'm going to leave it. And if anyone messages me about people who are cheating, then let me know, whatever. And I'm not going to look. I have looked, and there are still some people at it again, cheating. So I'm going to tell you who they are. Excuse me. So, the cheaters, and there's only 3 of you. So if you're listening, it could be you. You'll know it's you if you've made a transfer. The first one is Bov. That's by SA. You are going to be kicked. You've made transfers, so you are gone. King Lord SC. That's Lolo Hosbert, the best name I've seen on there, but you're still getting kicked, so you're gone, no transfers. And Empire FC by Yahya Salim. That is a wild card, I believe, so you're gone as well. No wild cards, I did say. We are down to a really small amount of us. The amount at the start was just under 100. We are now down to about 20 players. That means if you're listening and you have a team still in this league, you have a massive chance of winning that £100 at the end of the season. Please, please, please don't make any transfers. In fact, I say that, go and make transfers, because that gives me more of a chance of winning and more of a chance of not paying you £100. So why not make some transfers? It will get you kicked. I will reiterate, please, if you don't want to get kicked, don't make transfers. But also kind of do. Shall I review some teams? Let's have a look. The Day 1 League leader is officially This Is United podcast host, Vincent Norris. Vince, you are top and you absolutely killed it last season. It's going to be really annoying if you are top again. There's a couple of teams in and around him, and to be honest, I'd rather Vince win than a couple of these other players. The second place, and there's not much in it, it's only 2 points in it, is Liam Edgar. Your team, Liam, is only 2 points away, and you had a really tough week this week, really struggled, but you're still up there. So thank who got you the points this week? Oh, you need to thank Saka. Antoine Zabi and Calvert-Lewin. I mean, ridiculous. But yeah, I would thank Saka, because Saka actually has not at any point during the season not got a return. Every single game he's got a decent return, a 6 point or a 7 point. So yeah, I think he's saving you there. Day one team is Tom Jordan. He is right up there on 274, 4 points off top. Please, guys, I'm begging you, do not let this guy win. He will never let us live it down, and he will be on my phone blowing it up, getting that £100 off me immediately as well. So let's not let him win. Jordan Banfield, your team's going really strong, 272. Frank Charles, a very strong side at 269. It's really close at the top. Dale Priest, I told you Dale Priest is one to watch. He's always got an eye in for fantasy, and he's doing really well, 264. Connor Hamer, you've got 264 as well, really strong score. Jody Finucane's going well at 260. Mario Ferrain at 259. Very good week for Ferrain there, 71 points. And he is above me on 253. I'm kind of in the middle of the league. And do you know what? It's early days. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And I'm not too unhappy with my score this week, so I'll take it. I've made up a bit of ground. At the bottom, bringing up the rear, by the way, is Big Elliot Vamplu. That's Elliot Wheaton on 171. No Haaland, no Salah. You're hoping for an Eze hat-trick every single week. I think that's the only way you catch everyone else up. But it's going well, and I think everyone, hopefully, if this is your first time doing it Day 1 League, you're enjoying it, because it is good fun, and it's the least work you have to do for £100. It's the laziest approach, like I said, to fantasy football, but it is good fun because anyone can win it. Like I said, again, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Injuries can happen. Players can fall out of form. You never know. I've got Rashford. I've got Garnacho. They could be turning it on. They've just scored 2 goals each tonight. So you never know where your points are going to come from. So I don't know. Big shout out to Leif Davis, by the way. Everyone gave me a lot of jip for Leif Davis, but a clean sheet for Leif Davis this week. So get in, Leif Davis. Right, let's do weekend treble. The weekend treble, if you're followers regularly of the podcast, you'll know that I'm making you money. All you got to do is back what I say. The kind of premise is that I'm going to make you a profit at the end of the season. So I'll say that it's a profit. So even if it's £10 at the end of the season, you've made a profit. At the moment, our current profit after just 5 weeks is £79.92. That is a really solid profit. All you would be doing is putting £10 on every week. Your total profit, your total returns on that £10 is £79.92. Why wouldn't you be believing in me? And when I say it's a profit, I just mean that, like I said, at the end of the season, if I'm £1 up, we've done well. Last season, we did make a profit. We made quite a decent profit. This season, I think we're going to go a lot stronger. It does mean that if you've been following me since the start of the season, I'd have to now lose 8 weeks in a row without a return to make a loss. So I actually think there's no way I'll let that happen. Touch wood. You never know. These are not guaranteed, but at the moment, as you can see, I won in the first week, I lost in the second, I won in the third, won in the fourth, won in the fifth, and now we're going for 4 weeks in a row. So make sure you're on this week. My first selection is Wickham to beat Cambridge. Second selection is Bayern over 1.5 goals against Werder Bremen. And my third selection is Man United double chance. That's Man United or draw against Crystal Palace. £10 on this week returns £29.55. That gives us a really healthy profit of £19.55 if you back it and if it wins. This was the hardest week I've had to select any teams or feel really confident in any selection. It was really difficult, and I agonized over it, and I appreciate that some of you are now backing it, and I don't want to let you down. So I don't know. Man United, if I go through them, that game against Palace on the weekend, it is a massive game. Selhurst Park under the lights as well. It's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy, but I don't think we're going to get beat. We're just off the back of a 7-0 win, a 3-0 away win as well. I think if we can keep Palace quiet, keep Mateta quiet, keep Eze quiet, I think we've got a really good chance. I think we'll score. I think we'll go there and score. It's just whether we can keep a decent amount of shots off Onana's goal, which is also always a worry. But I think De Ligt and Martinez, I just feel like that centre-back partnership will come together. Bayern over 1.5 goals against Werder Bremen. I don't know if the odds might come down because they've just scored 9 goals this evening. So by the time you're listening to this on Wednesday tomorrow, you may have seen that Bayern have just scored 9 goals. So 2 goals the weekend shouldn't be a problem. Or maybe they've scored all their goals. I don't know. And then finally, Wickham to beat Cambridge. There's no way Cambridge go away to Wickham and beat them. There's no way they get a result. I can't have it. Wickham definitely win that game. But we'll see. Total profit, £79.92. If you back me this week, and if you've backed me every week, you would be £79 to the good. So stick with me this season, because I am making you money technically. Right, guys, I will do a quick preview for the weekend, things that I do think are going to happen, players that I am looking forward to seeing playing. I did mention that Man United game. I actually really am excited about watching Garnacho hopefully start after that, and Rashford maybe play through the middle. He might go with a front three of Diallo, Rashford and Garnacho. Looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to seeing Palace actually. Nketiah seems to be starting. He scored tonight as well against QPR, so maybe that kickstarts his career and properly gets the guy going, because he is a talent. He is England's under-21's all-time top goal scorer. It's a massive signing for Palace. Oliver Glasner really believes in him, really thinks that he's going to start and play a lot of games. When asked about it, he did make sure that he made the point, Palace has spent a lot of money on this kid. There is no way they're not going to play him. So how he fits in that team, I don't know. Ismail Assar's there, Jean-Philippe Mateta, Eze. They've got some really good players in that side, really forward attacking players. So it'd be interesting to see how he fits in. But yeah, looking forward to seeing how that works out. We've also got Arsenal versus Man City on Sunday. That is going to be a top game. I'm really looking forward to that. Arsenal off the back of the North London derby win. City just crept over the line against Brentford. So I don't know how it's going to go. I think Arsenal have to go and really put a statement out and beat City. I do feel like that. I feel like they should have done it last season. They should have really gone for the game. I know they beat them at the Emirates, but going to the Etihad, getting a win, hurting a team. Gary Neville talks about it. Players who've won the Premier League talk about it. And even actually the Man City players themselves will admit that if Arsenal had gone there and really put down a marker and said, right, we're going to go and beat you, it would have changed their mentality for the rest of the season. And they didn't. They'd settle for a 0-0 draw and hope that they'd get the better results until the end of the season. That's just not how Man City work on any season. They are machines. They are robots. Right, talking about robots, do want to mention Erling Haaland, and the Erling Haaland praise has been done to death, and I am sick of hearing about Erling Haaland, but at the same time I don't feel like we hear about Erling Haaland enough. Like, he is, I know he's good, but I think genuinely Erling Haaland is the best striker to ever play in the Premier League. He's not the best player, I'm not saying that. Wayne Rooney's played in the Premier League. Thierry Henry's played in the Premier League. I do think, though, out and out, number 9, centre-forward striker, the best we've ever seen is Erling Haaland. I don't think anyone's even close at this point. The amount of goals this guy will score, and has scored already this season. This is a season where he's admitted, he really feels like it's the first time he's felt free of injuries. He feels sharp. He hasn't got anything going on. He's played enough games, but he's also kind of got enough rest. He feels like he's ready, and boy, is he showing it. This season, he's on 9 goals. It's scary, scary stuff. I do feel like Erling Haaland is, if he stays for another 5 years, we could be looking at him challenging for the top all-time goal scorers in the league. I know Harry Kane had a really good go at it. He left. He might come back. He might try and have a go at beating Shearer's record. But Erling Haaland is the absolute epitome of a centre-forward, a striker, a real striker. When you hear the name Erling Haaland, I feel like I hear this big physical presence. He's a striker who puts his foot through the ball with unbelievable ferocity, unbelievable power. He can finish, but he's delicate. He can chip the goalkeeper. You never feel like when you watch Erling Haaland run through on goal that he's going to miss. And that is something that I don't think many strikers in the world, you feel like. Ronaldo had it. I always felt like Van Nistelrooy had it. Messi when he's one-on-one, Suarez when he's one-on-one, these players, but Erling Haaland is that. He is unbelievable. He is the best striker for me that the Premier League has ever seen. Right, guys, like I said, stick with me, follow my weekend treble. Let me know in the comments if you disagree with anything I've said, because I do love a bit of back and forth. We have had plenty of it this week. I did mention at the start that I woke up with everyone laughing at me. And when I say millions of people laughing at me, not with me, I woke up to a tweet that some Chelsea fan had gotten my video off TikTok, posted it on his profile, and was laughing at me because I was crying about Sancho leaving and then getting a man of the match performance. I am sick of Jadon Sancho. And I think, like I said in my own tweet and my own words, we have every right as Man United fans to be sick of him and annoyed at him because he didn't show this enthusiasm, didn't show this kind of willing to get on the ball and play. But 45 minutes less for Chelsea, and all of a sudden he's doing everything that he was doing at Dortmund. So it's very annoying, but you know, all the best to him, whatever. Guys, I will be back next week, next Wednesday, and every Wednesday until the end of the season. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening. Like, subscribe, rate, say things that are nice or horrible. I don't really care actually at this point. Thanks, guys. Have a great week.